Your mother. Hello? So Locke's way of putting it was, our ideas of perception might be caused by external stimuli, but there's more to it than that. When you're experiencing redness, there's not just the thought that, well, this is being reliably caused by some configuration of particles out there. It's that what's out there resembles my experience of it. Very hard to make that notion precise, but that's very intuitive, that if what's out there is not a colour causing the experience, but just some configuration of particles, then there seems intuitively to be some way in which colour has just disappeared from the world as described by science. When you're giving a full physical description of the room, you don't need to mention colour at any point. So if that's right, the world doesn't resemble the way experience presents it as being. I'm not saying our ideas of colour are caused by these external stimuli, but it doesn't resemble any of these external stimuli. But if that's the general case, and even something as familiar as motion, size, and figure of particles, that's not at all what quantum mechanical descriptions of the environment look like. I mean, at the most basic level, you don't even have such friendly concepts as motion, size, and figure. You have just alien forces operating. So then the threat is, the skeptical threat is, maybe none of our ideas of perception resemble external stimuli. But then, this is something that Putnam's argument doesn't address at all. Putnam's argument only gets you that one way or another, there's some causes out there causing your sensations. It doesn't say anything about whether the world out there is like your sensations. But if that's right, there's some sense in which you have completely lost the common sense world. I was once at a talk that took place in the summer's evening with the windows open like this and people walking around outside, and the speaker got quite excited at one point, and he said, look, what's really upsetting about this kind of picture is that in the world as described by science, all basic particles and fundamental forces, in the world as described by science with all its gamma ray bursts and molecules and so on, there simply isn't anything it would be possible to care about. And as he said that, just from outside, there came a scream. You really lose a lot if you lose the common sense world. You lose all the world that's connected to our ordinary motivations. There's some really far-reaching sense in which if you take this picture seriously, you're alienated from your surroundings. None of it is at all like you think it is. So that's a dimension of the kind of knowledge that we ordinarily take us to have of our surroundings that just isn't caught by Putnam. Because all he's talking about is, if you have that picture of the thing causing the dossier, there is that other dimension that it's not just the thing causing the dossier, it's that you're aware of the thing. And your awareness is not just a matter of you being causally sensitive to it, it's a matter of you getting to know what it's like, what it is. Putnam actually throws out the idea of resemblance and says it doesn't even make sense to talk about resemblance here. But if you throw out the idea of resemblance, then that, without some further discussion, that way of talking about the relationship, that question of whether the world is like you think it is, that can't even arise. You don't even have a way of stating what's been lost here. You find yourself in a world that has nothing to do with your ordinary motivations, a world that you can't connect with at all. All there is your own sensations in this alien environment. That's basically the situation of the brain in the vat. And if Putnam's right, that's the best you can aspire to. That's all there is. That's not a skeptical threat, a far-fetched worry that you might wonder about if you're doing philosophy. That's the position that all of us are actually in. Being in an alien world that doesn't connect to our motivations at all, simply locked in to a bunch of sensations that are merely causal responses to physical patterns out there. That's all knowledge is. So the natural question here is, does the causal theory of representation do justice to the knowledge we have? Can causal theory really be the whole story? I think we take ourselves to have knowledge of what our environment is like that goes way beyond the knowledge that the brain in the vat has. The brain in the vat doesn't have that knowledge. That's what's wrong with the brain in the vat. It doesn't know what its environment is like. And you don't really get that just by saying, oh, well, it's systematically connected up through patterns of activity in the vat-tending machinery. You have that without knowing what your environment is like. So that suggests that, going right back to when the causal theory of reference comes in, if that's right, it suggests that the standards of right or wrong for the sentences that you're using, if you say that chair is brown, then the standards of rightness or wrongness for the sentence aren't set just by causal connections. The causal theory of reference, when you generalize it the way Putnam is doing, is saying, what is it for a sentence to be right or wrong? Well, that's fixed by what the causal connections are between the parts of the sentences and what's in your surroundings. That's the causal theory of reference, right? But if what I'm saying is right, what it takes for it to be true that a chair is brown is more than just that there'll be something or other out there that's systematically causing your uses of the terms that chair and brown. Your awareness of the chair and your awareness of brownness are providing you with some knowledge of what brownness is and what a chair is. And that's giving you knowledge of what it takes for a chair to be really brown. Not just that there'll be something or other out there, but you know what the thing is out there that would make it true that the chair is brown. So there's got to be more to standards of right and wrong for sentences than just the causal connections that the causal theory of reference is describing. Russell did restrict acquaintance to sense data and the self. As I said earlier, that's a few weeks ago. That is I should say you live a fairly narrow life if you can only ever think or talk about ultimately about your own sense data and yourself. So the natural thing to do is to expand that notion of acquaintance to include the medium-sized world. And really that's what I'm presupposing we should do, is say that we have some kind of non-propositional knowledge of what the medium-sized world is like. There's not just a matter of experiences of uses of terms being caused by the medium-sized world, it's that experience reveals the medium-sized world to us. So we can think of acquaintance then as knowledge of reference provided by knowledge of what the world is like. What your knowledge of what it takes for something to be read is provided by your knowledge, the acquaintance you have with the colours themselves. But then it seems possible for the skeptic to strike back against Putnam. Once you get it, once you accept this, that there's more to our knowledge of the world than just reliable patterns of causal connections, then it does seem to reopen the possibility of radical error. If you say, well, I'm not just going to let the common sense world go, I'm not going to let go the world I care about, I say I have knowledge of that. The minute you say that, then the skeptic can come back and say, but how do you know you're not a brain in a vat? How do you know you really have got that knowledge of the world, of what the world is like, that you think you do? So I am resolutely returning us to more or less square one on this, as so often. Okay? Are you content with that? In that case, I think that's the end of the message for today. I expect it to be assailed by protests at various points here, but we all seem to be in the same team. Okay, very good. Okay, so we marched triumphantly on with Britchka on Friday.